Parachav Zayin, we finished off yesterday's chapter by opening this chapter, Vayosev Iyov Se'et Shalo Vayomar. Iyov again took up his theme or his trope or his parable and said as follows. Question about the who's the speaker in chapter 26, and we'll see similar questions in today's chapter in terms of what Iyov is going to say. Iyov opens the chapter as follows: Chai el Hasir Mishpati V'Shadai Hemar Nafshi. By God, or I swear by God in a sense, who has deprived me of justice, by Shaddai, who has made my life mar, has made my life bitter, ki cholo nishmativi v'ruach Eloha be'api, that as long as there is breath in me, as long as there is breath in my nostrils and life in me, im tidaberna sifatai avla uleshoni im yege rimia. My lips will speak no wrong, my tongue will utter nothing that is deceitful, no trickery. I will remain honest. Chalilali imatzdik etchem ad egva, lo asir tumati mimeni. Far be it from me to say that you are tzodek, that you are right. Until I die, I will maintain my integrity. I believe in what I have said, in what I have argued. I've been not going to curse God. B'tzidkati in verse 6, Hechazakti v'lo arpeha, lo yecharaf levavi miyamai. I persist in my righteousness. I will not yield. I will be free of reproach as long as I live. So I'm not going to curse God, but I know that I'm right and I know that you're wrong. And I'm going to stick to my story that I was not treated correctly, that I was judged incorrectly, not favorably, that things were not done in the way that they should have been done towards me. And so that's Iyov opens this chapter, which sounds a lot like him. Now, Pasuk Zayin, verse 7, let's see. Yihi charasha oivi umitkomami ke'ava. May my enemy be as the wicked, my assailant as the wrongdoer. Now, this is a strange thing, and this is why part of this has been questioned. Iyov has said that God has favored the wicked. The wicked sit in their tents. The wicked sit in their homes. They break out the guitar and the music, and they're drinking. They're not suffering. So why would Iyov want the wicked, who are the ones who seem to be doing well in his estimation, to be his enemies? Keep going. For what hope does the impious man, what hope does he have when he's cut down, when God takes away his life? Will God hear his cry when trouble comes upon him? Obviously not. He's a wicked person. When he seeks the favor of God, God calls upon him at all times. No, God's not going to call upon him. He hasn't called upon God. I will teach you what is in God's power and what is with Shaddai. I will not concede. I will not explain this to you. So here he seems to be saying that the wicked, after living their life with wickedness, he wants them to be his enemy. They're going to call out to God. God's not going to listen because they don't really call out to God. They're only going to call out to God after death, when things have changed for them. But that's not what he said in the past, and that's part of the difficulty here. He said in the past, the wicked are the ones who prosper, the righteous can suffer. God, there's not a fair way that the world has been run. Hey, natem kulchem chazitem v'lama zehevel tebalu. All of you have seen it. So why do you talk nonsense, right? Why are you saying that God rewards the righteous? Zechelek Adam Rasha, we're in verse 13, Im El, v'nachalat aritzim mishadai yikachu. This is the evil man's portion from God, the lot that the ruthless receive from Shaddai. Im yirbu vanav lamo charev v'tzatzav lo yisbu lachem. And ultimately, what is he saying? So now he's agreeing with this, right? The wicked, they could have many sons, but their sons are going to be struck down by the sword. His descendants will never have enough bread. They will never have sviut. They'll never be sova. They'll only be satiated by what they have. They're going to suffer. Siridav bamavet yikaver v'amanatav lo tivkena. Those who survive him will be buried in a plague, and their widows will not weep. Im yitzbor ke'afar kasev u'chachomer yachin malbush. Should he pile up silver like dust, lay up clothing like dirt? Yachin v'tzadik yilbash v'chesev naki yachalok. He may lay it up, but the righteous will wear it, and the innocent will share the innocent will share his silver. So here again, this is the problem with this chapter, and there's a couple of explanations. There are those who say this is Iyov, perhaps talking about his friends. Iyov in this chapter says, "I believe in God. I believe that God is just, and maybe sometimes God is just, but He hasn't been just with me. And you guys are the wicked ones. You're the ones who've accused me of evil. I'm going to stick to my guns," it says in the beginning of this chapter. "And ultimately, the wicked will suffer. That is you guys. You guys are going to suffer. I'm suffering now. You're going to suffer. You're going to see that I am right. I've stuck to my guns. I stick to my word. I know the truth of my situation. You guys have been wicked and you will suffer." And he's mocking them. He's accusing them. That's one way. It's more the traditional way of understanding it. Others say, no. We've had 3 speeches by Eliphaz and 3 speeches by Bildad, and only 2 of Sofar Hana'amati. And this chapter, together with parts of the previous chapter, maybe is some of the speeches of Sofar. That Sofar, somehow in translation and transmission, I should say, not translation, some of the wording got messed up here, and really much of this chapter and the chapter before is not the words of Iyov, but is the words of Sofar, which would make sense because over and over again, what has friends been saying to him? The wicked are the ones who suffer, the righteous prosper. It's just a blip. It's just a momentary thing. Eventually, this is going to happen. Their children are going to suffer. Their grandchildren are going to suffer. Their spouses are going to suffer. Everybody else is going to get their wealth. But the Masorah, the transmission that we have coming down to us, says, no. These are the words of Iyov. Let's continue with these words. Verse 18, Pasuk Yudchet, Bana cha'ash beito uchesuko asa notzar. The house he built is like a bird's nest, right? It's going to be easily destroyed. Like the booth a watchman makes. It's just a booth, and don't think of, a very strong wooden sturdy booth. This is made out of straw, we'll say, in the if there's 3 little pigs. Ashir yishkav velo yeyasef einav pakach v'enenu. He lies down, a rich man with his wealth intact. When he opens his eyes, poof, it is gone. Tasigehu chamayim balahot. Laila ginavto sufa. Tov, terror will take him over like a flood. A storm wind makes off with him by night. Right? So again, this is, you think that everything is fine, you think that everything is clear, but that's not what's going to happen. He's going to be taken away. The wicked person is going to lose everything. Yisa'eu kadim vayelach v'sa'arehu mimkomo. The wind, the east wind, will carry him far away, and he's gone. It sweeps him away from his makom, from his place. Then it hurls itself at him without mercy. He tries to escape from his force, but he can't. Yispok alemo chapemo v'yisrok alav mimkomo. It claps its hand at him and whistles at him from his place. He will not be able to escape from it. And interestingly, some of the words in this chapter, balhot is a word that's used by Yechezkel. Yechezkel describes, the terrible destruction that's going to happen. And these are words that are also used in Eicha, in the 2nd chapter of the book of Eicha. Let me read to you from the 2nd chapter. Sapku alayich kapayim kol ovre derech. Sharku v'aniu rosham al bat Yerushalayim hazot ha'ir shomru klilat yofi masos l'chol haaretz. All who pass will clap their hands and hiss and wag their head at fair Jerusalem. Is this the city that was called perfect in beauty, the joy of all earth? And so Iyov's friends have said, you right, Iyov is sitting, he's the one who's suffering. His friends are doing fine. His friends still have their prosperity, their families, everything is fine. But what does Iyov say to them? If we're reading the chapter this way, Iyov is saying to them, you guys are going to be the ones that people are going to clap at, that people are going to recognize, that people are going to hiss at, that people are going to say, how can it be? These were the friends. If you take the chapter, no, many of these are the words of Sofar and Naamati, then they're saying it about Iyov. Iyov, you're saying you're innocent. Look at who you were. You were a person of beauty. You were a person of respect. You were a person who people loved and respected. You had a great family. Everything was perfection. You had 10 kids. You had this and that and everything. And now you are derision. The people are clapping their hands and looking at and noticing. So different ways to understand this chapter, whether it's really the words of Iyov as the Masorah, as it comes down to us in the Um, in the others, more modern day academics, well, they can't say it certainly, try to understand this chapter, keeping the themes of Iyov, seeing the wicked prospering. He's not going to take this idea of the wicked suffering. So either way, we want to take the different ways of understanding this chapter. Iyov speaks here, and he'll continue with more of his words for the next couple of chapters.